I'd like to introduce the CEO of Two's Company, Bobby Gottlieb, and the president of Two's Company, Tom Gottlieb, to welcome us. Hello, Tom.
Hi.
Where's Bobby?
I'm just busy on my computer, as I'm sure everybody seems to be these days, really plugged in. I just want to welcome everybody. Thank everyone for joining us. I was just talking to Ann, and I was saying, I wake up every day, and sometimes it feels like it's just a repeat of a Groundhog Day, and other days I sit back and I say, all right, today I'm going to really make a difference, and so our creative juices are really flowing to deal with and try to predict and forecast the new world. And but I did have a sense of hope this morning. I don't know. I had to go out and went out in the world and felt that there are changes, and places are handling things differently. But gravity seems to take us all back to the way it was somewhat. In that, I think that we all would love to be out. We'd all love to be spending, and for those that have the income to spend. And so I do think that there's a lot of hope to be back into a much better place than we are today. So that's my personal message, and we thank you guys for joining us. And I thank Blair and Ann for coming on board today and sharing what they're up to and what they're doing. And I think that hearing this all, I think all of us hearing from each other, we're bound to get ideas, and it will spark some creative thought. And this is a time when creative thought is important. So having said that, hey, Bobby.
Hi. So I want to thank everyone also for coming.
Could I just mention one more thing?
Yeah.
One more thing, just so everyone knows. So if you hover over the photo of someone that's in the shindig today, there's an option to private video chat. And so it's a really cool feature. Just if you see someone there or someone asks a question and you want to touch base with them, even while we're talking, you can kind of have your own little private chat, and you just click on that, and in 10 seconds, you're connected to somebody in the group who you may know or you may want to know and introduce yourself to. So the application that we're using really allows for some great interaction, and that's why we're offering this, so that everybody can enhance their networking and their communities. So please take advantage of it, and we hope you enjoy it. Sorry, Bobby, go on.
That's okay. I too want to welcome everyone. We've been looking forward to this. It's so amazing that we met only 2 weeks ago, and how many changes there's been. Summer is here, Memorial Day has gone, and 50 states are in some stage of opening. So I don't know how all of you feel, but I feel that opening is a whole lot more difficult than closing was. But we have two amazing retailers to help us with that. They are really the gold standard of successful, savvy, creative, progressive retailers. So we all look forward to sharing a wonderful session with Ann and Blair. We've learned in the last few months how to do without a lot of stuff. Museums, sports, going to the mall, having your hair colored, doing your nails every week. We've learned how to do without that, but we certainly haven't learned how to be without you guys. So sharing is so very, very important. And I too want to stress that we'd love you to participate, to ask questions, to join in, because we all have a whole lot to share with one another. And that's going to be our way of being successful in this new retail environment, in this new world. So I don't want to hold up the meeting. TZ, let's go. Where are you?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Virtual hug for everybody. Now, before I introduce our guests, let me tell you a little bit about them. I just got a text from Blair a moment ago saying that he might be having trouble with his camera. So it might be a moment. There he is. He's back up. Blair Hamaty, for the past 10 plus years, has been running Setting the Space. Setting the Space has served as New England's leader in real estate staging and interior design. Since their opening, they have grown to an incredible selection of home furnishings and accessories, as well as gifts across 5 additional stores. The stores are described as for the young and old, male and female. It is Mars meets Venus, and in fact, it is a go-to destination on a Sunday morning to enjoy mimosas and have a day date, or get a setter and go on a date later that night. Is Blair back up? Yes? No? All right, we'll have a little technical difficulties, but in the meantime, we'll bring Anne Cantrell up. Anne opened her store in October 2007 in Park Slope section of Brooklyn, New York, and the website soon followed. Her passion for items and ideas she believes to be the best in show has helped her bring the shop to life and live up to its namesake, Annie's Blue Ribbon General Store. In addition to a retailer for the past 13 years, Anne is also a published author, writing Fashion Entrepreneurship Retail Business Planning, which is a textbook that Anne co-authored. The recently released Fashion Business Management is in the 3rd edition in printing. The book is admittedly, quote, written by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs, and it explains management, market segmentation, financial statements, cash flow, accessing capital, e-commerce, and omni-channel retailing. So welcome, Anne. Pretty impressive.
Thank you.
I guess Scott's still working to get Blair up, but we'll get started. Anne, have you reopened the store yet?
No, we're in New York City, so we don't even have a date, confirmed date yet. We're waiting to meet all our metrics in New York City, so we're just holding tight till then.
Right. I know Blair is up in New England. I'm not sure so what does a day in the life of Annie's Blue Ribbon look like right now?
Well, I'm sure like all of us on this call, we went through several stages of grief in different ways. We actually closed a week earlier than was mandated by our governor to be socially responsible and flatten the curve. So at first it was like complete panic, like how are we gonna make it? I immediately tried to talk to my landlord and all those different steps. Since then, we have been able to pull together. We were very lucky that we had a website for the past 12 years, and that we had also had a reach beyond Brooklyn too, which is helpful with our website. So we have just been really heavily marketing our website and getting on social media and trying to get the word out. We didn't actually start shipping for a couple weeks, but Easter, thank goodness for holidays, right? We're all grateful for the holidays. Love my Tues holiday products, but Easter, then Mother's Day, graduation, of course, and then Father's Day is all helping that. But we are 100% online right now.
When we spoke earlier in actually it was like late last week, as we started planning, you made a comment that you realize now more than ever the importance of the community, especially the local community. So just maybe you can expand a little bit.
Yeah, the community means so many different things to me. And even when I think of stakeholders, right, I'm thinking about our customers, obviously. I'm thinking about my team and how important they are. But I'm thinking about our vendors and the relationship we have with those as well. But I think what has really come from this, and I'm thankful to the Twos Alliance for part of this, is the connection to other shop owners, things that I just wouldn't even thought that we could like talk about, swapping different vendor ideas, what's working, what's working, and maybe, I have one text chain and I'm with people from different parts of the country. Then I have another text chain with local Brooklyn businesses, and we have different needs and associations. So I feel like competition has kind of gone out the window right now, and we're all just trying to help each other because, when we do well, we all do well. And I think that's been an amazing part of this whole process.
Hi, Blair. See, you got you're back. Good to have you with us. While you were offline, I was wondering, have you reopened, or what stage of reopening are you, or what are your plans?
Our retail stores are still not allowed to be open, so we're as frustrated as can be. We have our facility where all of our stuff comes in. It's a 20,000 square foot warehouse. We have opened that. We kind of have three divisions in our company. We have a moving company, we have a home staging company, and we have the retail side. So for the moving and the home staging, we are allowed to be open, and we've stayed open for a long time, or I should say we reopened. The stores, we definitely can't be opened. We also have a clearance warehouse. So we have a lot of furniture outside in our parking lot, and we have these big, huge banners that say call or text us, and we get calls and texts every day. So we've actually been doing a little bit of business. So we're nowhere near where we need to be, but at least we have some stuff going on. So thank God for that.
When we, I was just mentioning to Ann that when we spoke, I guess it was last Thursday or Friday, just planning a little bit about this meeting. You mentioned something that I thought was interesting, that you were sending out. We talk about bundling and putting together packages and selling $50 boxes, $100 boxes, but you were saying that you were sending out boxes at no charge. And when Ann and I both got up off the floor and sat back down in our chair again, we were wondering.
Wait for my box.
Yeah. What do you?
I'll send everybody boxes. Just send me your addresses. So what's interesting is, and it came from being on this alliance, and it came on the first time we did this. And I was listening to everybody saying that they were bundling stuff and they were selling online. And we're kind of doing that too, but it's definitely new for us. So the sad fact is I have tons and tons of new product sitting on shelves in our clearance, in our warehouse, right? Our distribution center, waiting to go out to the stores. So in the meantime, I ordered boxes. There may be inches by 8. Oh, and
Hey, Blair?
And go. You can't hear me. You can't hear me?
Oh, that's better.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you're better.
Can you hear me?
No,
Okay, can you hear me now?
Service.
All right. So I have horrible service today. This is not good.
Right.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Now you're on.
Yes? Okay. So what I started to do is we had these really cute boxes made. Our colors are Tiffany blue and black and white, and we have logos. And I started putting all of this beautiful product that hasn't gone to the stores yet, and putting them inside a gift box. And we send a card out saying, just thinking of you, and when the store opens. And we've also sent gift cards and discount coupons. So it's this whole big package we've sent. And it can be anywhere from $20 to literally $100 worth of items in it. And we've gone through our mailing list with all of our, what we would call whales. We sell a ton of furniture. So we sent them to all of these people. And the responses we've gotten back is huge. Look, that's a lot of money that we're somewhat investing, if you will. But you can do it on a very, very small amount, or you could even just send out a letter in an envelope with a coupon, $10 off. Remember us when we open the doors. but I've been getting a huge response. Like everybody's been calling us and they've been so thrilled to death, and they're glad to hear that, you know, we're going to survive and that we're going to open. So it's been kind of fun doing that.
You know, it's funny that you say that there, and that's a, yeah, I would love to get one myself, but it's more the idea too that you say that that your customers are excited that you're going to be reopened and you're going to weather through this, because actually I think that's another part of community as well, is that you know, people come to our stores for, you know, good vibes and to know that everything is going to be okay and to seek out inspiration and things like that. So I feel like that's another part of the community element that's been really strong. People comment on social media like, we're, you know, thank you for you know, pulling together, and thank you for your strength during this tough time. And I think that is part of it too, is people like want to know that their neighborhood shops are going to make it.
We've learned a lot from this. You know, there's a lot of negativity, but there's more positive to it. And as we've pivoted to go forward, we've done kind of what you've done. I have colleagues all over the United States, and we've all stick together. And you're 100% right. There's no more secrets. Everybody is out on the table telling people what has worked, what hasn't worked. And there's a whole new camaraderie of how do we survive? You know, what is going to work for us? What do we think the future is going to hold? You know, and we've been using that. And then we've been sending out as well little snippets to our customers via email, just asking us, what would they feel comfortable? You know, will they feel comfortable coming in our stores? I have a friend who has an outdoor furniture store. And I went there yesterday because we do buy some of our stuff there. And I have to tell you, I walked in, they didn't have any masks. They weren't wearing masks. They didn't have any to give anybody. They didn't have any sanitizer, and they had no signs up. And I felt extremely uncomfortable. So I thought, if I'm a friend of theirs and I'm feeling uncomfortable, why is someone going to walk in their store and feel comfortable? So it's very, very important that as we are about, you know, and anybody who has their stores opened, you have to put the guards up, the shields up. You have to have, in our warehouse, we have this really cool table, and we have masks for them. We have hand sanitizer. We actually bought little hand sanitizers, and we put the Set in a Space logo on it, and we're giving them out free to people, and they really appreciate the fact that we're giving them something that's going to help them. Some people have put gloves on. You know, there's no mandatory reason for them to put a glove on, but some have been putting gloves on, but they feel so comfortable coming into the warehouse that when we open the stores, we know we're going to make them feel very comfortable. And I think that's hugely important.
You know, you said, Blair, the word pivot, and again, earlier we were talking, I think you said, and pivot while you're pausing.
Yeah.
And I guess that's really one of the advantages of being an independent retailer, is that, you know, one of these big box retailers like the Queen Mary, you got to go 3 miles before you can go starboard, right? You guys can pivot a lot more quickly. What are some of the things that you're learning, that you're finding that are going to be they're going to stay with you once the all clear signal goes back out again?
Well, I think times have changed. I think what we've learned to do is, certainly we had no staff. So we've learned now that we really need to cut back on everything. And one of the things that I had the opportunity to do was to, like, I had to deal with everything. I had to learn the billing system again. I had to learn our inventory system again. So it was almost like a huge cleansing effect. And I've learned where there's been waste, you know, and we all have had waste. Well, it's never going to happen again. You know, we're going to keep a lean ship at this point and assume that the worst could happen again. So that was a big awakening for us, is just, you know, to make sure that we've done that. We were also looking at what are our best sellers and what are our not best sellers. Like, we would just buy tons and tons of stuff. Yet when I was going through the inventory numbers, you could clearly see where there were certain items that outsold things all day long. And then there were a ton of items that were just onesies. And we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to make sure that we stock up on the right items and not have, you know, have more of what we need and less of what we don't need. And that's kind of stuck with my mind a lot.
Anne?
Yeah, I think the sooner that we realize that life is just different, whether at our stores, like, things are not going to be the same. We're going to have different type of products that we're going to sell, different type of customer interactions. And I think as entrepreneurs, we're used to pivoting and changing and being nimble all the time. And I think that's what we want to do, right? The people that are doing well and trying to adapt are making changes. So I love what you said, Blair, about looking at inventory. I've been really strategic. I'm sure we all have been really strategic about looking at future buys, what's going to work well online. I'm buying less of things, but maybe deeper of them going forward for holiday. And who knows what will happen in the fall. So reevaluating everything. And, we're a general store. So I feel like we can get away with some product. We've been selling masks. I never thought I would sell face masks. These careful keys that are made out of copper, open doors and press the pin pads with them. Things that, and we always sold a ton of puzzles. So I always said my secret sauce was puzzles, but now the word is out about puzzles. But just reevaluating what product is. And I think that has been the nicest things that customers have said as well, is that you're so on the money right now for what we need right now. So thinking about customer needs and what's going to work and reevaluating all those decisions and things that we were just status quo before, as Blair said.
The other thing too, going back with the giving out stuff, we're trying to make people feel very different and very special. So we're a larger company, but we're still a very small company. So with our truck drivers, we give them goodie bags. So it goes back to something. It can be, again, this whole sanitizer thing. I was able to buy these little sanitizers. So everywhere they go, every time they go into someone's house, they're handing them something, just a little saying thank you. And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be something so small, and get creative with it. But people are saying that they're not getting that from anybody else. So it's really sticking out and it's making us different. And you just want to make them feel special because we're a different type of company, obviously. All right, we got a question. So from Donna. Hey, Donna, how are you? It says, what's your strategy for reopening? How are you marketing to your consumer to entice your customers? The thing just went away, to customers to come in. So unfortunately, I think you're to shop in person. So I think that our strategy is that we are definitely going to start sending out like our constant contacts. And we've really had a lot of thoughts on this. And unfortunately, I think we're going to have to give discounts. I think that that's something that our company has never, ever, ever done. We're not a discount company. We sell our stuff for the price that we have to, a fair market price. But what we've been doing is polling all of our employees and saying, okay, what are you seeing online? And unfortunately, online, they're seeing things at lower pricing. So we're going to start putting in the stores, maybe for the first month you come in, it doesn't matter what it is, 10% off, 15%, 20%. I've noticed that the bigger box stores, the furniture stores, now they're re-advertising, and it's the first thing they're doing. So unfortunately, you have to follow suit because I think they're going to ask for the discount. So be prepared to do that. We don't do free delivery. We don't do free delivery because at the end of the day, there's no such thing as free delivery, but I think we're going to have to entice them with free delivery as well. And then I also think what has been working for us is to give them a coupon, a reason to come back in. Again, it can be a free gift. It can be $5. It can be $10. It can be anything, but give them a free gift to have them come back in. We're hearing a lot of mixed things. We're definitely hearing that when the TJXs in some of the states opened, their stores are incredibly busy. But we're also hearing that a lot of small companies are opening their stores and nobody is showing up. So I think we're going to have a bigger challenge. So start thinking of that type of discount or that type of offer or that type of service that they're not going to get from somebody else. Ian, you have thoughts on that?
I'm hoping not to go the discount route. We rarely discount anything, maybe once a year at Christmas time, really. What we are maybe going to do instead is we have a rewards program, and so we're having a pickup for our online delivery. Our postman just showed up. We're probably going to offer double points for our for our reward program, and just blast out to social media, blast out to our marketing. I think people want to shop if they don't have money. I think they still really want to support small businesses. I think we haven't seen in our country this support for small business in so long. So I'm really hopeful. In terms of safety precautions, we're going to follow everything to the letter of the law. We did, a colleague of mine suggested to buy matching fabric to make like aprons and masks for everybody on our team. So we ordered some fabric. We ordered a shield for our counter and all things that I never really thought we would do before. We have hand sanitizer at the door for when people come in, and just want to make sure everybody feels as comfortable as possible, especially my team.
So someone's asking, who are our vendors for masks and hand sanitizers? So write down my email. It's Blair, BLAIR, at settingthespace.com, and send that over to me, and I'll find it out for you, and I'll give it to you.
I looked online for, I think I ended up buying a 5-gallon, it was $200, hand sanitizer from a restaurant supply company. That was with shipping, but we got that. It took me like a bunch of Googling. I can try to find out the name of it. It had like initials in it. And then I bought a dispenser from somewhere else. We usually buy everything from Uline, but they've been sold out, and yeah, everybody knows the deal. And for masks, for ones to sell, we bought some. Ironically, we bought some from Fair right away, and then they didn't show up. They showed up yesterday, a month later. But we've bought some from different vendors. What's the one? Talking Out of Turn is one that we bought, and some from Fair, as I said. Ice Cream, which is I Scream, capital letter I and then Scream. They have kids masks. I think they're just starting to ship now. And then we bought, we have a local company too. Maybe you guys buy from them, MapTote. They are doing some ones that like peace and love on it, and New York City. So I feel like if people have stayed in New York right now, a lot of people have actually left and gone to things like that if they have them and are lucky to do that. So if you're here though, you're here and you're in it to win it. And so we've got some New York masks that hopefully will be here soon.
What online platform or platforms are you using? So Ian, what are you using to sell online?
We use Shopify. It's our third program. First was one called Miva. Then we used WooCommerce, which is WordPress. I found it very limiting. And now we've been on Shopify for a year. And the thing about Shopify is, I'm sure people on this call know about, is you have to add in different apps to make it work. So whenever I want something, it always seems like we got to buy another app, but they can tailor things and customize them.
We find Shopify is the best as well. We had used other platforms, but Shopify really knows, and you're 100% right. You just have to add some apps, but it's actually very, very easy to use and to set up.
Yeah, and it also is a seamless flow into Instagram. So if you tag products and things like that, it seemed to be the easiest one that we were able to find.
I agree. In your pivot, what do you believe are the top 3 positives in this new business realm? In our pivot. And what's your thoughts on that?
I think community. I'm going to just go back to that. I know my neighbors' rents now. Like I have like bargaining power through that. Things like that, and connection with different people. I also feel a super connection to my customers. I can't wait to put the names with the faces or the DMs through social media or the comments together with the faces. But I feel like yesterday someone bought we bought Annie's t-shirts, these t-shirts that we designed a couple years ago, and we bought too many. You know how that goes. And at one point we were like giving something for our anniversary weekend, and then a friend of mine was wearing one, and she said, "I'm going to have a blue ribbon day." She posted it on Instagram. She's actually in South Africa. So I reposted it because I was really thought I was cool. And I ended up wearing mine too. And then people were like, how do we get that t-shirt? So anyway, my point is we ended up selling a bunch of t-shirts, and people were like, we just want to represent right now. We want to represent you in this business. And so I thought that was really cool. So community with our customers, community with our fellow, what normally would be competitors. And then also I'm really intrigued about online business. Like I said, we've had a website for 12 years and we do I thought we did a really decent job during holiday time. And I was really happy with that. But, maybe the business model changes a little bit we'll see. I've always wanted that threshold where people buy more than just once a year. Like, why do you have to go to Amazon for, products when, or gifts? Like, come to a retail or you guys, So I really hope that sticks, that people are going to still keep supporting small businesses. For a while, well, I think it really started at Easter time. I try not to go on Amazon very much, but a friend of mine was like, and you can't even get Easter egg dyeing kits on Amazon right now. They're not shipping before Easter. So that was my like, oh, wait, really? Like, we're going to jam. So we really pushed Easter really hard, and then it just kind of went from there.
So the customer service that we have given in the past, we think has been pretty good. But again, in these past couple of months, we realized that we could go the extra mile. So I'm personally calling customers now. And again, we sell a lot of furniture. We do a lot of deliveries. And I'm going way out of my way to pick the phone up to them and also to kind of talk a little bit more personal. How are you doing during this situation? And that's kind of the question I ask. And the second I ask it, it opens up an unbelievable can of worms. They love to talk. They also love the fact that I've now gotten a little bit more personal. It's not just, hi, we're delivering today, or hi, we're doing this. It's more, what is going on in your life? And I'm finding that by doing that, it's making us different. So as we continue to open, we're really going to keep that policy going, is to keep it tight with the best customer service we possibly can give, because we know that that's a big part of why they'll continue to shop with us. And it's worked in the past, but like I said, there was definitely room for improvement. So we're going to keep pushing that. All right. Taking what you learned from Easter and Mother's Day, this is what you just said. What are you doing now to prepare differently for Father's Day? So Ian, what are you doing for Father's Day differently?
Well, I learned from one of these town halls and from my colleagues that bundles did really well. So we have some bundles for Father's Day. What I also was thinking about for Father's Day is when we were like putting product online for Father's Day, I was like, your typical thing is, what does a dad want? But right now it's about being home with your family. And so I've been putting more things on that a dad can do with his kids. So Mother's Day, we had just gotten in these outdoor boredom boxes. So they have all these like games and stuff to play outside. And a dad bought one for the family as a Mother's Day gift. But I realized like they're just trying to entertain the kids. And if that helps the dad, that's something that the dad can do with the kids. So I took that idea and kind of put some more items online that were more like family gifts. And actually, back to puzzles, I think puzzles have always been like a #1 family gift.
Right.
Games, things like that.
I agree.
I wish I had done more. Oh, sorry. I just want to say I wish I had done more with graduation, because I feel like there's a lot of, we could have sold more banners, and it's not over yet. I mean, graduation's like, how long is graduation? Like 2 months. If you're in New York City, you don't graduate till June 26th. If you're in college, you graduated like May 5th. But I see a lot of great photos on Instagram of like friends that are graduated, have fun banners and things like that. So I think if you can partner with a local bakery, or get cookies made with the local high school or things like that. We haven't really done that. It's Brooklyn. It's very spread out, but I think there's a lot of opportunity I've seen a lot of businesses partner with other types of businesses too, which is something I wish would work here, but I don't think it would, but cool for other places.
Someone asked, how do we reach out to our customers and how often are we reaching out to them? So I use constant contact. So with our POS system, we do ask for everybody's name, number, email, addresses, whatever we can get. And then we do a monthly newsletter to them, where right now we're just a little hesitant, if you will, because we really don't know the opening date. Everybody keeps asking us, when are we opening? And we clearly don't know. We're hoping it's June the 8th. We hear a lot of our colleagues are opening, but our governor has been kind of on the very, very, the modest side, if you will, and he may not open on the 8th. So we don't want to bombard them too much until we really have that fact. But Constant Contact has always worked for us. And then, like I said, I literally have been going through and going with, the clients that we know spend a lot of money. And I've been picking the phone up to them and having a conversation, and they love that a lot. So that's a little different than we've normally done.
I try not to talk on the phone very, very much, but I love your idea. I'm sure it works in different businesses. We were on Constant Contact for a while. Now we're on MailChimp, and we normally would have sent out an email like once every 2 weeks. Now we've been doing it twice a week. And I was checking to see how many unsubscribes we have. And of course, you're going to get some unsubscribes, but I think you're also picking up new people. And if they were going to unsubscribe, they were going to unsubscribe. They weren't going to buy from you anyway. So maybe the list is like tightening up a little bit more. I just would also say, like, sometimes today we sent out a Father's Day email. So last night I spent the whole night, like, just making sure our product looked good on the site. Sometimes I kind of lose sight of connecting all the dots. And making sure, okay, yeah, we're going to have traffic to the site. Want to make sure it looks as good. If there's things that are sold out, get them off or move them around. I also think social media is a big way that you're talking to your customers too.
So it says, for shops who do not have e-commerce set up yet, which platforms do you recommend to use? Is that something we can set up on our own, or do we need a third party? No, you can definitely set it up on your own. The Shopify thing is definitely, I mean, they've made it so simple for everybody. I don't know what else you would choose from, and you can definitely set it up on your own. It's just time consuming like anything, but they've made it as friendly as absolutely possible.
Yeah, I would definitely say that having an online business has really has been so crucial right now to us. And like I said, this is our third platform. I didn't do a ton of research when we went on to Shopify. I just felt like it was the number one in the marketplace right now, and we've been pretty good with it. It also, what you should look for though is to make sure it marries back to your inventory system, because they have to work together. And if something's going to sell out in the store, or once you're back open in general, we want to make sure that the inventory is correct. And so something that can marry back to that, and as well as we need another system that is going to ship packages. So I know there's other ones out there that my colleagues have talked about, but we use ShipWorks. We've used that for all three of our platforms. So so that automatically creates labels and creates packing lists and everything like that. So you just have to make sure everything works together, and that, but it's pretty seamless once you get it up and running.
So I just heard maybe about 3 weeks ago that Facebook is going to do something new called Facebook Shop. So don't get confused with the Facebook Marketplace, but they're coming up with a platform called Facebook Shop, and it's for small businesses like ours, that you're going to be able to set up apparently a very simple platform, and then obviously it's on Facebook. So start to watch for that. I thought that was going to be cool. How do you anticipate your buying habits changing? Will you go to market or use your reps more? So I've been asked this question a million times. I'm not going to market. So I'm watching a lot going on. Obviously, we're watching people who do understand the safety habits that have to happen, but we're all watching on television these people who are having home parties, these people who are going to beaches and congregating. This is very serious, and at the end of the day, people are going to get sick. We have been hit up by market. I just don't think it's time. I think that, for us to, I'm not ready to get on an airplane. We definitely, with all of our sales reps, they're keeping in touch with us, with all of our vendors that we work with, we can sit online and we can order online. I just don't think going to market yet is a necessity for us. So, I'm not sure we're ready.
Yeah, we were, I was kind of delusional for a while, thinking I would go to Atlanta, but I realized that we're not going to travel at all for the rest of the year, which is like, usually I go to Atlanta for a whole week and have so much fun, but also buy a ton of stuff. I've done a couple early buy appointments already through Zoom. I have one set up. I actually already had a vendor. She would have everything new by June 15th, and that we set up a call for them. I also just personally started a separate note in my phone, like when I see cool stuff that we'll revisit later when we need stuff. Don't really need too much right now. So when we're ready to buy, and hopefully have some new stuff. I'm more about newness, I think, than my customers are. I always want to have new product in.
Of course.
And I was just thinking, sorry, Blair, I was just thinking that in a lot of ways, like the Choose company model, the way that we work with our reps is like how we're probably going to do most of our things, whether it's in person or over the phone.
One of the things that we're seeing with a lot of our vendors is everybody is being so proactive. You're looking for okay. They're being so proactive that you're now able to almost sell directly through the vendor, and they're going to give you a cutback. I mean, they've made it so easy for us. So I really think the market thing, like I said, I'm not ready to go at this point, and I don't know that we really need to. I think that we're going to be able to continue doing business without it. Can you put that message back up?
Was it what product? Yeah, we're looking for. I think also I've been really grateful for vendors that have emailed and said, you still want this order? Something just shipped, and which I think is kind of ridiculous. Like, honestly, there was like literally nobody at the store to even receive it.
Sure.
So keeping in touch, asking what they want. I think realizing that, and I'm sure there's people from all over the country on this call right now. And I've appreciated vendors saying, we're talking to so many different retailers right now. Some are completely open. Some might have never even closed. But so adapting to the different needs of the different retailers and being open to what they need right now.
I agree. Have you been doing social media selling as well, Instagram and Facebook? Yes, and it's easy to do. And I encourage everybody to, you have to have an Instagram account. You have to have a Facebook. You have to be on social media. It's been highly, highly important for the past, I don't know how long, but as of today, it's the most important thing. It's what's going to make you continue to show people that you're staying up on everything. So I encourage everybody to do it. It's not difficult. It's just time consuming. And, if you can have someone else help you do it. And if not, you definitely should be doing it.
Yeah, I think it's important to find your own voice. My voice at the moment actually happens to be my 8-year-old daughter, who's our best spokesperson. But I even created a little highlight on our Instagram account called The Beans for her. But, find that voice. I might not be, we have help in our Instagram, awesome help on our Instagram with the photos that we post daily, but the stories, I have so much fun doing them. I just love sharing and I love connecting, and I'm really amazed at the engagement on stories, and so that's been really fun. We have as I said, through Shopify, we can tag product and sell it that way. Through our website, though, we're driving everybody to the website, so it's changing people's way of doing business too. They're used to just coming in the store. Now you have to go online, create all that kind of stuff. But I know some colleagues, maybe even some people on this call, are literally just selling this is product, DM below or write a comment below if you want to get that. That's cool. It's also you guys all know this. This is so time consuming doing selling this way, and even personal shopping for customers and everything like that. It's great, but it's also very time consuming. So training the customer to just find it themselves has been really gratifying.
I think one of the things that we do have to take to heart is that people have been buying online now for the past 8 weeks. So it's become a habit. And once people are in a habit, we're going to have to get them back into our stores, which is a different habit. So I think that everybody has to be proactive and understand that they have to have some type of presence to sell online. It's just part of life at this point, and understand that you are going to have to work a little hard to get them back into your stores. You've got to gain their respect to go into your store. They've got to feel comfortable to go into your store. But this whole habit thing has altered, and it's part of life at this point. How will you find new vendors for new products if we don't go to the markets? I think it's easy. So the High Point market was all online. I mean, it was amazing. They ended up setting up a platform. You could set up Zoom calls. Everything was recorded. You were able to take, multiple days to go online. And, it's not as hard as you would think it is. Again, everybody's being proactive of what has happened. So they're taking advantage of all of the technology that we have. I mean, 10 years ago, if this had happened, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing right this second. So I think if you just go to Atlanta online or High Point online, I think you're going to be able to find that you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's cool about High Point. I also think that our reps that know our business really well are going to be more important than ever. And I've asked them too, like, this is doing well for us. What else are you selling to other people? And like to always share that information, which reps are really good at. I also, have you guys ever been to another store and you're like, oh, I love that item. And you're like, oh, I already sell that brand. I just didn't know what they had new. So I'm going to really ask for what's new from people that I already buy from. And in general, I think we haven't, I wonder if we'll catch up to it. I wonder if the Two's company team can say this. I wonder if we'll catch up to it for next year, for like January. But for right now, I think there were a lot of products that were already in work. And like I said, one rep was like, we'll all have all new product by offerings by middle of June for that would have been at Atlanta or otherwise. So I think there'll be stuff to see. It'll just be a matter of doing it in different ways and through Zoom appointments, catalogs. For a while there, I was like, oh, should we pitch all these catalogs? And I'm so glad we didn't. And looking for our best sellers and then asking those vendors what's new from them.
I think the other thing too is, like Ann said, we've all have a new camaraderie for each other. It's not competition anymore. It's friendly competition. So certainly reach out to me, and I'm sure Ian will say the same thing. If you're looking for something, I'm very comfortable sharing vendors at this point with everybody. So just email me, and if you are looking for something specific, I'll definitely give you some ideas. Do you not worry about being competitive in pricing with online sales? It's a problem. So the question is, are we afraid or are we worried about being competitive in pricing with online sales? So right now I'm dealing with a couple of situations, okay? And they're not easy situations. We're selling furniture. People have been sitting online, so they are finding the least expensive product they possibly can. And they know the vendor, they know everything there is to know about it. One thing I just learned today, and I don't know how I didn't know about it, but there are many, and I knew this was happening, there are many websites, and it's not that they're fake websites, it's that somehow they're getting around the system. So they're buying through another vendor, so they're not necessarily buying straight from the vendor, and they're taking the pricing and they're gouging it, and it's a big major problem. And I had a conversation yesterday because I had a woman who is looking for chairs. I gave her a price. In these past 3 months, she's found them. And if I sell them to her, we're not even going to make $100 on each chair. And the chairs are, I don't know, they're $800 each. Our sales reps are extremely frustrated with it because they get phone calls all day long. Again, it's part of what has to happen. I think you have to educate people. So what we did is we ended up doing the legwork first, and we also found out that the free shipping was not free shipping. So it was being bought from a very obscure company. And the free shipping turned out to be something to the effect of $2,000, whereas, we would eat the shipping, if you will. So the pricing was very much the same. So I think you have to follow what's online, and you have to educate yourself. And then it does become a little exhausting, and you do have to somewhat educate your customer. And our sales rep said, well, what happens when it comes in damaged? And my response was, they don't care. When they buy furniture, Wayfair, if you buy furniture, if anybody's bought furniture from Wayfair, 85% of the furniture that they sell and ship to you will come in damaged. It's lower end furniture. They don't do a great job packaging. They will replace it, but then people get angry at the fact, and most people just turn around and they just return it, right? They don't care. So I think you just have to try to use, and I know everybody is different. A lot of you have just gift stores. We're different. We have the gift stores, but we have the furniture as well. But I think you have to educate yourself and educate your client, and then try to be different to still have people come into your shops.
The first thing that came up when the first thing that popped in my mind with that question is a couple of items lately in the past week, we actually had to raise our prices on because when we saw what the vendor themselves were selling at was actually higher than what we had it. So we now are kind of trained to look online what other prices are, and they're, it's the internet. They're going to find something cheaper. I think the key though would be that maybe there's another part of the assortment that they're getting, and they could be invested in your story as well as other products that they could just be a one-stop shop for instead of just buying one item or looking for the cheapest price. And if that's who that customer is, I think that if they're gonna save $2 $3. Actually, that happened to me recently with my daughter. I was trying to buy her something, and I tried to save a few bucks, and it ended up not working out, and I had to get a fraud and blah, blah, blah. So I learned my lesson. I'm trying to go with completely support small independent retailers and do some research and hopefully find what I want and support someone else's business in the process as well.
What type of customer outreach has gotten you the best results? Email, social media, regular mail? Social media, 100%. I do texting all day long. So if you go to our website, we have, it's not called live chat, but it's called chat, and they can chat. I get an instant text. Some days, all I'm doing is taking orders by text and inputting them on the computer. So I'm finding text is definitely in social media. How about you, Ann?
Yeah, absolutely. I think social media, because it's so immediate and you can, people just respond right away. And I think you can be really current that way. But again, I think it's important to find your own voice. Everybody's going to have their own persona or perspective. We try to keep everything really light. And I know we're going through a global pandemic, and we've gotten dark at times talking about, our high rent and things like that, or other aspects of business. But in general, trying to be a light for other people online right now.
Right.
That's our voice.
What do you feel about making appointments online for attending your store? Absolutely. We're a large craft show with thousands of attendees, most older women 55 years and older. Well, it's going to be a problem. You can't have large crowds. So we have definitely started doing appointments but with people, and they love it. So I had someone call yesterday, and they literally said, "Can I make an appointment next Tuesday at 10:45?" There is a platform. I haven't put it on our website yet. I think it's called Calendly. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, is that a Shopify app? I heard there's a Shopify app for this too.
Right. And they can literally go on and they can make their own appointments. And I think you have to start doing it. Again, start thinking outside the box. That's what this is all about. Again, we're a small company. I would absolutely love the fact if we never had to really open and we could start taking appointments, again, with all our furniture. That's not going to help us with the gift stuff, clearly. But I would love to be just making appointments with people all day long and having them come in. It's not what's going to happen. But I think at this moment, definitely try and do that. I think that people will feel much more comfortable. They'll also feel the customer experience completely different. And you probably have a much higher chance of selling them. Again, we've been doing that out of the warehouse. They've been coming in. They feel comfortable coming in. They stay as long as they need. And our closing rate is very, very high at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how that appointments will work for our business. We're really high volume, small purchases. But it sounds like it totally worked for Blair. And then also a colleague of mine, she's in Maryland, and she started with appointments this week on Monday, and she was open for 4 hours. 4 hours. She said every purchase was over $400, and everybody was really gracious, wore masks, and had a ball. And so she was really gratified by that. So that was
sorry, even the gift stores now, if you're not open, like our phase last Monday was that we can definitely do curbside pickup. And we're definitely making appointments as well, prior to us being 100% open, and people are dying to buy stuff. I mean, that's all there is to it. They're absolutely dying to buy stuff. So at least give it a shot.
And we're not there yet in New York, but
no.
Sounds cool. That sounds hopeful.
Do you think people waiting in line will be upset that they did not make an appointment? Well, they won't be waiting in line. So you don't want to encourage them to come to the store. You definitely don't want them to just show up at the store. They have to make an appointment. And right now the hairdressers are making people stay in cars, doing all that stuff. If you're that busy, that would be awesome. But we're not that busy at all. So try not to have anybody standing outside in line.
I think that it's just a new world that we're in right now, and we just have to adapt and be safe for everybody. So yeah, people are probably going to be unhappy. But you have to follow protocol to make sure everybody is safe. So I think there will be some disappointment. We're in New York City, like I said, so you can't go anywhere without a mask. And just wait in line. People wait in the grocery store lines. It's probably the same thing everywhere, but everybody's used to waiting right now. Everything takes like 5 times longer than it used to take.
I agree. It's the new norm. There's nothing we can do about it, and we're not the only ones that are going to be doing it. So if people are upset about it, they're upset about it.
With the curved sectional.
Which social media platforms best perform for you? Do you prefer Instagram stories versus Instagram feed? Like I said, we do like one post. We haven't even been doing one post daily on our Instagram feed. But I think that my voice is through the Instagram stories. You can follow us at Annie's Blue Ribbon General Store. And I just have fun. Like I just walk. I mean, don't you guys I miss being in my store. I love the cute curation that we have, and I miss the customers' interaction, and I so feel like I get a little bit of that with people like hearting things, saying, "Oh my God, that's so cute! I'm going to buy that now." And so that to me has replaced the in-store connection that we have with customers. Everything flows into Facebook, but I haven't been on Facebook personally in a really long time. But
The other thing I want to interject about this line thing is people are so psyched that the stores are semi-opened or opened, they're going to wait in line. They definitely will. Questions? Which social media platforms best perform for you? Do you prefer Instagram stories versus Instagram feed? I don't prefer either one. I think both of them are awesome. And I think as many parts of social media that you can be on, you should be on, because there are certain people who may only look at the feed and there's certain people who look at the stories. I think Instagram is highly important to be on, as well as Facebook is highly important to be on as well. Do you have thoughts?
yeah, I already answered that one.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for. I'm not going to give you a number. I don't want to deal with numbers anymore. But the best part of my job and being in this industry has been for all these years is being with creative people like you. It's an inspiration. It's fun, and I think that this pandemic has probably challenged us to be more creative, and it brought the best out of so many of us. You made a point earlier about creating habits, and one of the habits that we're concerned about is the online business, the e-commerce business, and moving away from what the buzzword of the last few years is the customer experience, and maybe one of the middle ground that we're looking for in this transition period as we get back into the stores slowly is, and by the way, I just noted at minute 51 was the first time I heard the word curbside pickup. So we are making progress as far as content. But the one-on-one customer service, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about, one of our hosts was talking about just having their phone and FaceTiming around their store and doing that one of a kind, like a digital appointment in store and walking around the store. And one of the things that she mentioned was how she had raised her average sale with in-store almost doubled it to a couple $100. You mentioned the same thing about your colleague down in Maryland, Ann. That might be the middle ground. As you were talking, I was thinking I am over 40, so let that number out of the box. But when I was a kid, I remember Macy's had my mom buying drapes and slip covers by someone from Macy's coming into the home and dropping all the fabrics over the chairs, and you might find a version of that. Blair, when you do your staging, and I've heard this story from interior designers for years, you bring a box of merchandise, accessories, and very few of those accessories, when you put them on the couch or you put them on a shelf or you put them on the mantle, very few of them come back.
Correct, right. And not only is it the accessories now, it's the furniture. And with our staging, because the furniture stores weren't open, every time people were buying houses, they're buying some form of furniture from us. So it's not only the accessories, but it's definitely the furniture as well.
And how do you see something like that being an opportunity for a gift store? You know, it's like
100%.
Yeah, it's funny. I always try to offer shopping appointments with Annie at Christmas time, and because it's so much fun. But maybe now we'll get more takers from it. I also have to say, it's like you want to make sure that you're gonna get your money's worth out of that. It's so time consuming and everything like that, but it's also so much fun. Like I said, we are all in this because we love that interaction with customers. And so, and then we also we want to tell a story. Like I chose everything in the store like for a certain reason. Like, you know, there's a story behind it all. And so I love sharing that part of it too with customers too. So I think that helps. That's not just that it looks great in your home, but also that there's a story, you know, about it.
Well, it certainly is a very customized shopping experience. I mean, what you let the consumer into your store. You're both wearing masks, okay, and you're walking around the store. You're shopping. You're a personal shopper. You're putting the product on the counter. You're ringing it up. You're putting it in the trunk of the car. I mean, it's really a very special service, and I could see somebody. I don't know about 4 hours, but I could see that could be a couple $100 event, and the people who are going to sign up for that experience, you know, they're shopping. They're
spend the money.
Yeah, so maybe that's a middle ground for you. Are there any more questions in the hopper? Because this has been maybe not. Okay.
How do you charge for a home appointment by time or money? So we get a deposit when we go into a house for an appointment. We get a deposit. We get a small deposit of $200. If they're not willing to give $200 to us, then they are never going to buy. If they're willing to buy, $200 is very, very low, and it truly is a deposit. If we went into their house, they didn't purchase anything, then the $2 is not a deposit. It's for our time. If they purchase something, then we'll give the $200 back, and we find it works all day long. It's easy. When we've done free appointments, forget it. Free is free, and they don't pay for it. So definitely get something, whether it's $100 or $200, and give them an incentive to give all of it back or half of it back, and then you'll find that it works all day long.
Well, I guess as we wrap this up, the question that none of us have an answer to is that whether this is a short-term development or something that is going to be with us for a long time. But it's entirely possible that while we don't expect retail to be easier than before, it might not be harder either, because some of the ideas that we've shared and that you've shared with us today over the last now 4 town events, your town hall events, there are more revenue streams than brick and mortar, and e-commerce, and we're talking about those, and as we pivot while we're pausing, I hope that some of these ideas that you've been creatively sharing with us are revenue producers for all of us going forward. Any last words of wisdoms, guys, before we?
Hang in there. It's not easy. Okay, hang in there. But there's a lot of positive to it. When this started, at first, 2 weeks into this, as we were home and our stores were closed, I thought nothing's going to happen. We're going to go out of business. It's just the opposite. People are spending money. Yes, they're spending money online, but as stores have been opening, they definitely are coming back into the stores. Just try to do things a little bit different. Try to give them more attention than you've ever given. Definitely communicate with all kinds of people, network with everybody so that you can get an idea out of everybody. I've been on these Zoom calls a lot, and I'm getting a lot out of them. And again, just stay positive. People want to spend money. I mean, I'm seeing it all day long.
Yeah, I would just also say that it's a good time to reevaluate your business and what you want and what works and what doesn't work. And, you can come out of this in many different ways. And, if you were on the fence about it for the future, well, you're probably not on this call because you want to do well. But, it's time to reevaluate what's working and what's not working. And also just throw away like any estimates of sales and last year, like we're done comparing. It's a whole new world. And I think the sooner we can just come to grips with that, things are going to look different for a long time, the more comfortable we'll be. And I don't know about you guys, but like as an owner, I've never worked harder in my business. But it's humbling and it's hard, but it's also been a lot of fun in some ways.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yes.
Soon. It won't be in Atlanta. We've determined that. All right. But good to see you.
Going?
I haven't decided. I was thinking maybe rent a Winnebago and driving around from show to show. Parking in the parking lot. It might be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. And
all right, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Bye guys. Thank you so much. All right, stay safe. Bye.